What's going on, YouTube? Back for another episode here, and today we're hitting up Zalko Fitness and Yoga in Vancouver, British Columbia. So this was a cool place. It's also got some cool history about the owner, which I'm going to get into later on in the video. But first things first, we hit up a leg workout here, and I started off with these hammer strength leg extensions just to get things warmed up, get some blood in the quads, get some blood in the knees, get the legs ready to go. Then I moved on to squats, and I did a little heavier. Well, the heaviest I've done actually so far for the reps. I got 325 for 7 reps here, and there was a little bit of pausing here, a little bit too much pausing between reps, but I was really grinding out to get these reps in, so I was pretty pleased with that. So as you guys can see, kind of in the background here, they got a lot of hammer strength, a lot of Cybex, a lot of good equipment in here for the space. It's not the biggest gym. I mean, there is a couple separate areas, as I'll get into later. They have the machine, the hammer strength section, the kind of Cybex light fitness section where they can do the circuits, and they have a women's only and an aerobic section. So definitely most equipment you need. But when I walked in there, it was pretty small compared to a lot of gyms I've been to, and I was really pleased with the amount of equipment they had in there. So right after I was finished these squats, I moved on to hack squats, and I did these with my face facing the pad. And sometimes I like to do these kind of as a variation. If I hit back squats on the bar, once in a while I like to hit these. I kind of mimic a front squat on the hack squat here. So really target the quads after a back squat, and I really felt it in those. And I don't always get to do this, so as I always like to say, I like to use equipment that I don't always get to use. So this particular hack squat I don't generally use. So as soon as I was done that, I moved on to these one leg hamstring curls standing, and I also like to do this. And if you guys don't have this machine, or if you go to a gym that try this machine, but if you don't have it, it's also great with a cable. So I really enjoyed that, and I liked using that machine. And then as soon as I was done that, I moved on to calf raises, seated calf raises, and I did another set where I went a little heavier, but then I realized I tried to get my toes all the way up and get a full extension, and when I went heavier, I watched the video and didn't really get a full range of motion, so I took the weight down and really felt the squeeze in my calves. So that's kind of another great part about doing these videos, is if you ever get to film yourself in the gym, I really recommend doing it, because you pick up on a lot of stuff that you're doing wrong and stuff that you can improve. So right after those, I moved on to this donkey calf raise machine. I don't particularly actually enjoy doing this machine too much. I filmed a set here, but just did a quick set. I like the donkey calf raise where you're bent over much more, but still, nonetheless, for a gym this size to have 3 calf raise machines is nice, very nice. So this is Zalko, and he is the CEO and founder of this gym, and he has a cool story because he started his fitness journey in the 1970s, where he opened his first location in 1980. And he is actually the first Canadian to participate in the Hawaii Ironman, and is a big proponent of the Canadian Ironman now. He is one of the main people in charge of creating the Canadian Ironman, which is now held in Whistler. So he actually was the first one to bring a club to Vancouver, which had spinning and yoga also in the club, which is really cool. And he is also considered the Vancouver fitness guru, as he's trained many famous actors, actresses, athletes, including The Rock, Zac Efron, and many others. So very cool, and I recommend looking him up and researching more. So as you guys can see here, I got a couple pictures of the club and metal weights, which I really appreciate there. Tons of hammer strength equipment. Lots of variety and lots of space, and I found that with this place, very rarely do you have to wait for any equipment, because it's a lot of older crowd there, a lot of not so much a hardcore environment, which I'll get into in a little bit, but I found that it's just people are very respectful at this gym, and you never have to wait for stuff. And as you guys can see here, there's a picture of the aerobic section, which is nice and big, and then there's a women's only section too. So we're gonna get right into the ratings here. Price 7 out of 10 because it is a little bit pricey, it's more on the $50 a month range, which is quite pricey, and then you can buy, there's also options for full years. Hours, I gave that a 6 out of 10 because, as you guys can see here, 8:15 to 5, and then 6 to 10 is, or then even 6 to 8, not the greatest hours there. So I had to give that a 6 out of 10. Equipment, I gave it 8 out of 10 because lots and lots of equipment, but still compared to some gyms, not the most, but lots of equipment for the space, for sure. Cleanliness Upkeep, I gave a 9.5 out of 10 because I found it to be exceptionally clean there, and the staff to be exceptionally well at keeping the place really tidy, and no problems with that. And then Atmosphere, I gave a 7.5 out of 10 because, as I mentioned before, not a hardcore environment, a lot of older people in that gym, a lot of casual people, a lot of kind of people that work out casually, which is fine, but I don't find that the most motivating environment at times, but definitely a good place and a good alternative. I prefer it over many other gyms out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys learned something, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.